Hello everyone, I'm Ryune Seichi, here today representing MegaGamingStore.com, the best place to buy video games online. Today I'm doing a review of The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, a game released on November 11th, 2011, created by Bethesda, published by somebody, doesn't really matter. Production, it's not really an important thing. So, let's just dive right into the review, shall we? I'm going to go step by step and then give my overall view of the game. For the graphics, of course, I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10 because, well, have you seen the screenshots of this game? It is purely amazing. Just the attention to detail and then the big, expansive landscape, almost painting-like views. Just, there's not enough time in this video to say what I think about the graphics, but it's pretty much all just going to be the same words repeated over and over. So, yeah. Also the character designs are really good. Just the way, like, in the opening cutscene, you can see just every little bit of sweat and pores and dirt all over their faces. Great. But also the dragons. The dragons are very menacing. Oh, those dragons. um, as for the story, I'm gonna be a little harsh on it. Well, I was originally going to be, but then I've played a lot more of it after I wrote the review, and it's actually pretty original. What with the Dragonborn thing, I'm not going to dive too much into that because it's going to spoil the entire game. But, well, at least the parts I played. Um, Also, there's no way I could have finished the entire thing before this review because this game is way too long for its own good. I mean, estimates for completing the entire thing range anywhere from 600 to 700 hours. It's insane. Anyway, the story I'm going to give an 8.5 instead of an 8 out of 10 because it can still be a little cliche, especially at the beginning where, you're just kind of escaping from Dragon and you turn out to be the one hero and blah blah blah. You know, it's not something we've never seen before, though the Dragonborn thing is original in its own way, I suppose. If you think about it, though, it is kind of like every other story that you have a unique power because you are the hero of the world. World Destruction comes to mind, but not too many people have played that, unfortunately. I should do a review on it. Anyway, next up, yes, the gameplay mechanics. I'm gonna be also pretty harsh on this one and give it a 7 out of 10. Um, it's not completely unenjoyable. I'm not gonna say that, but the fact that I can't use magic while holding a two-handed weapon like I could in Oblivion because it was hotkeyed to something. Instead, I have to keep switching between my hands and using magic. It's not working for me after being after having played Oblivion so long. Um, so I basically don't use a two-handed weapon. I'm stuck to using a one-handed weapon in magic or two magic. Also, there's this thing later in the game. You save a town and they give you a housecarl. Her name Lydia, I think. Her addition seems like a good idea. She helps you in battle. She carries all of your crap. That's helpful, by the way, because, you basically never have to manage your inventory again, actually. So, helpful, but broken. Um, well, I suppose if she died, though I'm not sure she can actually die at this rate. But if she does, I suppose she'd drop all your stuff, and then you'd have to manage your inventory. But as for now, it looks like she has just unlimited space, because I've given her everything I don't need. Um, but yeah, she also just, in battle, you'll go up to a thing, and you'll try start fighting it, and then she will come out and beat the crap out of it. Especially because I gave her the weapon for saving that town, Whiterun. It's a giant axe. She just obliterates everything with that thing. So you don't get very much experience for it. Next up, the music. Uh, I've read like the Game Informer review, and it said it's the greatest thing ever, and it's great ambient design, and I don't like that kind of stuff. This is coming from a JRPG kid, but I don't like how there's very little music in the game. I basically have to play my own music while I'm playing the game to make me not fall asleep while on a long run to a town somewhere. And then every now and then when you're in battle, it'll start up, um, and it's not really like the greatest battle music I've ever heard, I'm gonna be honest. So I'm giving it a 6 out of 10. um, Replayability, of course. Man, this gets a 10 out of 10 pretty easily because of the amount of ways you can play the game, the different ways you can make your character, the different side quests that you probably missed on your first try, just everything. It would never end. So, yeah, as soon as I beat the main story, I'm going to try my hardest not to touch it ever again so I can actually play other things. Um, so yeah, finally, the overall rating for it. I'm still going to stick with my original overall rating, even after giving the story a bit more points. So I'm going to give it an 8.5, as opposed to Game Informer's 9.5 or other people's whatever. I don't even pay attention to IGN's ratings, to be honest. But the reason is because of the things I mentioned before. The gameplay, it's... and the only reason I'm giving it an 8.5 instead of an 8 is because of the perfect scores I gave to the graphics and the replayability. Because those are pretty huge things for me, at least, personally. Though I prefer a bit, you know, more music in my games and also uh, gameplay that doesn't feel encumbering. But I definitely enjoyed it, and you probably will too, especially if you've played Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. So it gets a high recommendation from myself. And that's about it for this review. So until then, visit the megagamingstore.com for this game and others like it. And not like it, I suppose, if you like Modern Warfare 3 or something. And, yeah. Until then, later, guys.